What's up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another episode of Leveling Up. So today I want to talk to you guys about something that is important, something that we'll all deal with in life, that we probably deal with in life too much if you don't know how to react to it, if you don't know how to respond to it. It's something that will crumble you, right? That will crush you if you don't learn how to deal with that. And today, my friends, we're here to talk about stress. How do you deal with stress? How do we got to look at stress? Why stress is a good thing. You know, right? So I was inspired to create this leveling up session, as I am with most of these, through a conversation that I had with a buddy of mine. It's a dude that I'm mentoring right now. And he's like, hey, man, since I've been doing this mentorship, my business is up 50x. And my phone's ringing 50 times as much. Things are going nuts. But holy crap, I can't keep up with the stress. What do I do, right? So, and here's the advice that I gave to him. Here's how I've learned to look at stress in my life, things that I've learned to do to be able to cope, handle stress, and then take stress and turn it into a good thing. As everything in life, I truly believe it boils down to the lens you choose to view out of, look out of in your world. I can view this as a negative thing, and I can view this as a positive thing. So for me, I choose to look at stress as an extremely positive in my world, right? I want stress in my life. Like, stress is a good thing. I don't look at stress in a negative manner. Now, and I'm going to tell you why, and this will make more sense here in a minute. But once you learn to look at stress as a positive thing, then it eliminates a shit ton of stress in your life, right? So because I choose to look at stress as not a negative thing, but a positive, it eliminates a lot of the unneeded, unnecessary stress that came with that stress. And I know that's kind of confusing, right? But it's just a truth. It's just a reality, right? So a couple things. So stress, I look at it as, how's a diamond created? Right, so it's a piece of coal that through pressure becomes a diamond. Two things happen in that situation: either it crumbles, it breaks, and nothing is generated, or it becomes a diamond. Right, so I look at this as, dude, I'm a diamond. Right, so every time that I have that pressure happening in my life, I have tension, I have pressure, stress, whatever the hell you want to call it. I look at this as, hey, this can't break me. This is just applying more pressure to make me a carat bigger, right? To be that bigger diamond than anybody else. So I look at stress as that positive thing, right? The other thing too is like when I go to work out. Yesterday I go in, I do my back sore as hell right now. Like my traps have me sore as hell. Well, why? Well, I'm tearing down, I go in there, I'm working out very hard. I'm tearing down muscle tissue. I'm creating massive stress on those muscle groups, tearing down muscle tissue, so then that it can recover, recruit, build bigger, thicker, better, stronger. And then I have a stronger back, right? Bigger back muscles, or whatever your goal may be with that. But it takes a certain level of stress to get through that and create that, and make that happen and create that into a reality. So then we have all these things that stress us out in the beginning. Like if I'm in this, there's things. Let's just say you're in real estate. When you first got started in real estate and you had to write your first contract, you're probably freaking out. You're probably stressed as hell. Didn't know what to do with yourself. And then all of a sudden, after you've written 20 of them, after you've closed 20 deals, now you've got it down. And now there's zero stress associated with that. It's just like, okay, you got this down in your sleep. So stress then becomes job experience, life experience, right? So the more than life experiences and job experiences, entrepreneur experience that you have, the higher threshold that you're able to put up with, to tolerate, to deal with. Well, for me, if I want to become the biggest diamond on the planet, right? If I want to become the biggest diamond, the biggest badass in my space, I know then that I've got to learn to deal with pressure and deal with that stress better than any of my competition. So then I look at stress as a good thing, right? Because I know what's going to happen. My competition's probably going to crumble. They're going to be that piece of coal that doesn't make it and that crumbles. Where I'm able to look at this and know with full knowing, I'm always, hey, my internal conversation is I want to be able to take on and have the capacity to take on any more stress and more pressure than everybody else, right? Because that's going to set me apart from them. So again, it's just a lens. It then removes so much of the negative stressors because I've removed the negative feelings that I have associated with stress. I no longer have the, oh, poor me. Right? Oh man, poor me. I wish I could just live an average life, a mediocre life. Like, you guys don't want to get me started on that bullshit, right? So you know my opinions there. So I look at this as a good thing. When I have stress in my life, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, bring it on. Let's take this on. Let's take it to the next level. Let me figure this out, dial this in, because I know it's just going to be a life experience, a job experience that won't stress me out, in a month or in 6 weeks or whenever I get through this, master this, and then I'm able to take it to the next thing. That it's leveling up, dude. You're always going to have those elements. And for me, it doesn't stop. Right? I mean, like this past week, dude, I've got multiple business ventures that we're kicking off right now all at once. And I haven't really done this in the past. Typically it's been one focus. I get there, grow that, and then take on another focus. Right now, timing just worked out perfectly with a couple ventures that I jumped on, dude. So time spread really thin. I've got all this stuff going on, huge learning experience. It's created massive stress. I mean, to the point where, dude, I'm in the office the other day till like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, jam out of here, run home, pack my suitcase real quick, jump on a red eye, fly all night. Then I'm gonna, arrive in that city at 6 a.m. Got to be to work at 8 a.m. or a couple hours later, jamming out, and trying to balance all of this stuff and keep everybody, on task and on hand, keep everybody else's stuff together, keep my own shit together, right? Like all these stresses happen. But then again, I look at that as such a positive. I'm like, hell yes, I feel those stresses. It's a pain that exists. I feel it, right? It's that pit in the stomach. I feel the pressure. But I don't associate it ever with negativity. Only that positivity, knowing that as I get through this, now I'm that much better, right? I'm that much more of a larger cut diamond with that. The other thing too, you guys got to understand, you can't have the rain without the mud, right? I don't know if that's the correct way to say that saying, but people are praying for the rain, and you get the rain, you got to be able to deal with the mud, dude. You're going to deal with some muddy shit, right? You're going to deal with the backlash of that rain. So, people want success to rain on them, right? They want it raining on you, baby. Make it rain, right? You want success raining on you, which is great. But if you can't deal with the mud, and the mud is stress, that's what comes along with it. So you really have two choices. What lens am I going to look at this out of? And am I going to let this break me? Or am I going to use this as a necessary tool, as a vehicle, flip my mindset, turn this into a positive, so then I can go out there and just crush it in this life, crush my competition, and just go out there and dominate in a whole new level that very few can. And it just keeps continuing to increase your capacity, increase it. Now, a couple things that I do to deal with stress. Number one, you got to rid yourself of mediocrity, right? Go back, watch the 5 steps. I think Leveling Up. I can't remember what episode it was, but I have a 5-step game plan that I laid out for you guys to overcome mediocrity, right? To not walk from it, but run from it. Treat it like the plague. I've given you a 5-step formula that I follow there. So number one, you got to get away from mediocrity, because mediocrity is what is mediocrity? Mediocrity is you're stressed out, man. Maybe you should go see somebody and get a pill for that. Oh, you're stressed out. You shouldn't work so hard. You're too stressed. Like all this just crap advice, right? What they're telling you to do is, and they want you got to understand, people that give you this type of advice, they want you to crumble. Because if you succeed, it makes them feel shittier about themselves, because now they have you as a reminder that they're not out there creating the life that they want. So then they just then feel shit about themselves. They want to bring you down, even if it's on a subconscious level. I'm not saying that they do it maliciously on a conscious level. But you got to understand that. So ditch mediocrity. People, get away from that mediocrity mindset, dude. You've got to remove from all of that, because otherwise you just get sucked back into this vortex of average, of mediocrity that is don't work so much. You shouldn't have a life of stress. Stress is bad. No, stress is good. It's called life experience, job experience. It's creating that diamond. It's your choice if you view it as a negative stress or a bad stress, right? So rid yourself of that. A few other things that I personally do that help me out, you guys, is I work out, right? Every single day I go in for an hour and I've got to work out, right? So, I mean, if I got to go in there and kill the weights for an hour straight and just whip the hell out of whatever it may be, it just releases some tension, right? Releases some stress. Meditation helps. Meditate for at least 10 minutes every single morning. That can help tremendously as well. And then probably the biggest thing that helps more than everything else that I do is boils down to self-development, right? So self-development in that, studying the greats, seeing the stresses that they go through, because if I see the stresses that they're going through, makes mine not appear to be so big, right? Like I want to roll with people. Now, and maybe at a time in your life where a lot of the people that you aspire to be like, you're not at their level yet, so you're not able to go hang out with them, right? And as you get busy, like right now, I don't have time to hang out. There is no hanging out in my world because I'm so focused on this, and when I'm not focused on this, I'm focused with my family, so there is no hanging out, right? So then what do? Well, then I immerse myself in self-development. So that's when I'm watching those hardcore documentaries on the greats of our time that exist now, the Elon Musks and, the Warren Buffetts and the Bill Gates of the world. You start studying Bill Gates and see some of those pressures that, that he went through and the first didn't take a vacation for the whole year of his 20s, right? 7 days a week, 18-hour work days, no vacations, watching these stress that these guys have put up with. You hear their stories and studying those greats that are here today, but that also existed, in the past. How they struggles that they went through, how they overcame those. Dude, they just keep you focused, right? So that's probably one of the biggest ways that helps me deal with some of those negative pressures. And it isn't really a help in that it becomes inspiration. Right? It just inspires me to take on more. It really just slaps me around, and so that I can have that internal conversation of, Josh, quit being a little, biatch and get your ass going, right? So that's what that does to me, dude, of look, quit being a victim, you're being a little punk, level up, let's go, keep pushing, keep driving, keep creating diamonds, and keep crushing it. So anyway, you guys, this is a reality that you're all going to be hit with in life as you're leveling up. And you always should be. If you have zero stress in your life, there's a problem, right? Like if you have zero stress going on in your world, if you have zero stress, if you have zero fear in that pit, that gut in your stomach, there's a problem. And I'm going to go on a limb here and say that more likely than not, you're never going to achieve any type of success in your life if that's how you choose to roll in this world. So anyway, hope you guys found this helpful. See you next week for another episode of Leveling Up with me. Peace out. Take care.